Tonight on CTV News at 5.
All hantaviruses are primarily transmitted from rodents to humans.
Handle with care. If you're cleaning out your cottage this spring, don't just sweep droppings under the rug.
I hope that this opens up lines of communication for people that maybe have a hard time starting conversations.
And happy to chat, Micmac Mall helps get the conversation started between shoppers.
Aside from oot and a boot, it's saying sorry all the time.
Plus parkas, politeness, and poutine. A new survey finds we're getting tired of the usual Canadian cliches.
Partly cloudy with fog patches tonight. Some spotty showers in the region tomorrow.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Panopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, reducing risk. Global tracking is underway to contain a rare form of hantavirus that caused an outbreak on a cruise ship now headed to the Canary Islands. This concerning strand can be transmitted between humans. That's a rare occurrence since hantavirus is usually spread by inhaling rodent droppings. That said, all forms of hantavirus can cause serious illness. And as CTV's Hafsa Arif reports, if you come across droppings, use caution. Hi, Hafsa.
Hey, Maria. As cottage season begins and people start opening cabins and sheds after the winter, experts say knowing how to clean safely could make all the difference.
A broom, a vacuum, opening an old cottage for the first time in months. Experts say those everyday moments can carry hidden risks.
All hantaviruses are primarily transmitted from rodents to humans.
Some concern is growing after a deadly hantavirus outbreak linked to a cruise ship overseas killed 3 people. This strain can be transmitted from one person to another.
Our priorities are to ensure the affected patients receive care, that the remaining passengers on the ship are kept safe and treated with dignity, and to prevent any further spread of the virus.
But experts insist the strain being tracked there is different from the one found here.
In Canada, we have something called the stereotypes virus. So it's the predominant species of hantavirus found both in Canada and the United States. It does cause a respiratory disease, very much like the Andes virus does.
While the cases remain rare in the country, the virus can cause serious illness.
It's a very similar clinical course as what we're seeing with the situation on the cruise ship. The sole exception, though, is stereotypes virus does not transmit from human to human.
Usually when it happens in Canada, it's linked to rodent droppings.
The first thing is to make sure you have PPE, which is the personal protection equipment. The disinfectant should be used to moisten the rodent droppings.
The key is to make sure the droppings do not become airborne.
It allows the dry rodent, the droppings to absorb the disinfectant, to moisten it. And also if you have any bacteria, any pathogens, that it helps to disinfect it.
While the outbreak may worry travelers and cottage goers alike, experts say Canada has a system in place to detect cases.
I do think we have the appropriate procedures in place to catch it quickly and to make it an isolated event.
Canadian health officials say the risk remains low, but when it comes to rodent droppings, they insist slow and careful cleanup matters most. Maria?
That makes a lot of sense. So don't use your broom or your vacuum. Take your time. Thank you, Hafsa. CTV's Hafsa Arif for us in the news center this evening. Heading over to the anchor desk where Todd Battis is standing by now with a look at the day's headlines. Hi there, Todd.
Hi there, Maria. In the last couple of minutes, there's been a new development in Nova Scotia's long-term care strike. The union representing the workers say the two sides, the other being, of course, the government, the provincial government, are back at the negotiating table. Strikers are into their 4th week on the picket line and say they will remain there until a new deal is reached. We will have the details of what we know so far at 6 o'clock. The man who shot and killed an elderly couple in their Dieppe home in September of 2019 has been sentenced. Jansen Baker received 2 life sentences for the murders of Bernard and Rosemary Saunier. During today's sentencing, victim impact statements were read aloud in court. CTV's Derek Haggett was there, and he will have the latest for us. Those energy drinks are back in the headlines. The pharmacy company Family Prix out of Quebec says it will remove the drinks from store shelves. That includes some pharmacies in New Brunswick. And it comes as growing calls are being made for the Quebec government to ban the sale outright of those high caffeine beverages to children. We'll take a look at the debate at 6. A wet day in the Maritimes. Kaylin Mitchell said it was coming. Boy, did it ever.
Yeah, we had rain, we had fog. In some cases, we had a couple downpours and a few small thunderstorms that moved through. The bulk of the wet weather now shifting towards eastern areas of Nova Scotia, where it's going to continue to clear through as we go through this evening. Temperatures right now are mostly in the range for around 10 to 15 degrees, a little bit cooler around Canso, as well as Eskasoni and Cape Breton, both sitting at around 8. And a little bit of a standout there in the southwest New Brunswick with St. Stephen near the end of the day, squeaking out 18 degrees. Taking a look at the winds, they were still gusty out of the southwest this morning, but as the front's been moving through, the winds have been diminishing in behind it. To the one area left with some somewhat gustier conditions is parts of Cape Breton, Sydney right now, with a sustained wind near 30 kilometers per hour, gusts near 50. But even there, the winds are going to be diminishing over the next couple of hours as what's left of the wet weather continues to clear out. You can see that band of rain right now in place, basically stretching from the Canso Causeway all the way across Sydney, and then, of course, making its way over the Cabot Strait into parts of Newfoundland. So that'll continue to clear out over the next 2-3 hours. In behind it, there is going to be a fair amount of cloud cover around for tonight. There'll be some patchy drizzle and fog. And then in behind that in the forecast for tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud with some isolated showers, very spotty in their coverage, expected to pop up as we move through Friday afternoon into Friday evening. But I'll have more on Friday's forecast and maybe a peek into the weekend when I come back a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. We'll hold you to it right now, though. Time for our first break. Stay with us, though. Much more to come, including these stories.
Hi, I'm McConvey here at Micmac Mall in Dartmouth. Are you someone who struggles to start conversations with strangers? Well, you're not alone. Coming up on CTV News at 5, a new program identifies shoppers who are happy to chat. I'll have all the details ahead.
Hey, it's Emily from Halifax Seed. Coming up next on the Garden Guide, we'll get into potatoes, onions, and all the vegetable seed you can grow this weekend.
The Garden Guide is brought to you by Halifax Seed, growing for 160 years.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. It's time for another edition of the Garden Guide with Emily Trigano. We're here at Halifax Seed, and today we're talking about something that it's kind of hard to cook without: onions and potatoes.
Absolutely. Now's the time.
Now is the time.
So when you start to see dandelions popping up and budding, that's how you know it's time to get your potatoes and your onions out in the garden. So potatoes are actually really fun to grow. So you do need a seed potato. You're going to get your potato and you're going to chop it up so there's a few eyes on each piece. I like to chop my potato the night before I plan to plant, because then they'll callus over a little bit. And I love to plant them in these fabric planters. So when you're planting potatoes, I think we've talked about it before, but you always want to start and plant them deep, and do not fill the whole bucket with soil. So as the potatoes grow, you're going to continue to put more and more soil in, and the potatoes, just like tomatoes, will continue to grow off of the root.
And eventually you'll be able to pick them out and just
Absolutely. This bucket here is actually going to produce a lot of really great new potatoes as well as storage potatoes. Many people also like to grow in burlap sacks. There's some really cool ways you can grow with potatoes. So this year I would recommend trying one of those.
Actually, you could put this right on your deck and grow them right off of off your back door.
Yeah. The other things you can pop in the ground are onions, as well as lots of different seeds. So everything from peas, parsnips, kales, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, your sweet peas. Soak them overnight before you plant them in. One of the things that I did want to show is
carrots.
This is a carrot seed tape. So carrots, love to grow them, hate to thin them. There's a lot of extra work that can sometimes come with carrots. But this seed tape, so this is one of our organic vegetable seed tapes. It has the seeds spaced out in the right distance.
The measurements are right on there,
So you don't have to thin them out. So seed tapes are great.
That's helpful.
Really good for kids. And anyone whose dexterity is a little bit limited, this makes it super easy. As always, if you're planting, make sure you have amended your soil, because all of the roots will need nutrients to grow.
Absolutely. And just to be clear, these are not like potatoes that you'd buy at like a grocery store. These are specific for growing potatoes.
These are very specific to growing potatoes. So these are called seed potatoes, and you can get them at many of your independent garden centers right now.
And including here at Halifax Seed. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
See you then.
Well, certainly lots of water for the gardens around the region as we went from yesterday into today, and that weather front slowly made its way across the Maritime region. Not so pleasant conditions today at Point Pleasant Park in Halifax. You can see a lot of cloud cover here. Periods of rain, the occasional downpour moving through. Coming up tomorrow should be nicer conditions for a stroll in the park. I'll have more on that next.
Welcome back. Kaylin Mitchell joins us now. And Kaylin, oh my goodness, what a wet day and kind of windy and just all around messy out there today. And we're hoping for a little bit of a change as we head toward the weekend.
Yeah, a pretty soggy one. This weather system coming across the Maritimes. So I don't have final rainfall totals yet, but I can tell you that a lot of areas will probably pick up in the range of around 15 to 30 millimeters out of this weather system. Maybe some higher amounts where a couple downpours or a few small thunderstorms moved through. Let's take a look at the St. John Harbor, and behind the wet weather, there was certainly a little bit of fog around, and for tonight around the Maritimes. After the rain clears, because it's still in the process of clearing eastern areas of Nova Scotia right now, there will be some partly cloudy conditions and some patchy fog and drizzle. Friday, we'll see some more sunshine in the region, but there will be a chance of some showers. So we'll get to that as we work our way into our forecast timeline. In the meantime, though, on our weather systems map, barometric pressure is towards the lower side. It's been falling over the last 24 hours at the approach of this weather front and the low pressure system that was moving up and along it. We're going to be getting into behind that front as we make our way through the rest of tonight, though it's not going to clear to become basically a perfectly clear night around the Maritimes. Like I said, there will be some lingering cloud and some fog and some drizzle. There's also some scattered showers right now around northern and western areas of New Brunswick, but here's the main area of rain still in the east of Nova Scotia. The brighter colors here indicating the presence of some downpours. Looks like a downpour may have just cleared through the Shetty Camp area and is exiting off towards the northeast of Cape Breton. So the rain in Cape Breton should be getting lighter here over the next hour or two and then winding down again to some fog or some drizzle. Taking a look at our timeline for cloud cover and precipitation then, let's bring it forward to around midnight. So grays here indicating the presence of some cloud cover around the Maritimes. Still maybe a chance of a couple showers up around the north of New Brunswick at that time. Start of the day for tomorrow should see fog patches dissipate in the morning, followed by a mix of sun and cloud for the remainder of the day. And then Friday afternoon into early Friday evening. That's when we're going to start to see a few little showers start to pop up. Now, I've described these as pockets of showers or very spotty in their coverage around the region. So for any given community for tomorrow, it's about a 30% chance of one of those showers moving through afternoon into early evening, and maybe even a little bit of a lower chance than that for some southwestern areas of Nova Scotia. There, I'd rate the chance of a shower even a little bit lower. As we head through Friday evening and Friday night, those pop-up showers should be coming to an end, and then a very similar day in the forecast for Saturday, though even less of a chance of seeing some showers. So a mix of sun and cloud to get the weekend started. Winds in the forecast for tomorrow, well, we'll be in behind that front, so they'll be out of the northwest. Not going to be particularly strong. They'll be a little bit breezy in the afternoon. We'll have some wind gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour for the region. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight. This is a cold front moving through, so temperatures are going to be cooling down in behind it. So lows will fall into a range of around 2 to 5 degrees tonight for New Brunswick, down to around 6 degrees for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island tonight, and for Nova Scotia, low temperatures between 4 and 8. Here's a look at the high temperatures in the region for Friday, and most of them are going to be in the low to mid-teens, so like 12 to 15 degrees. Parts of Cape Breton could be a little bit cooler, including Sydney with a high temperature tomorrow near 9. That does take us into the start of the weekend, and so for Saturday, it's looking like a pretty fair weather day. During the day, a mix of sun and cloud, and temperatures actually warm up a few degrees. So on Saturday, most highs in the Maritimes will be around the mid to high teens, a little bit cooler on a few parts of the coast. We then see weather conditions change again for the end of the weekend. On Sunday, weak weather system making its way in out of the northeastern U.S. will increase cloud cover around the region and return showers to the Maritimes. Most of the high temperatures, though, on Sunday will still end up in the range of around 12 to 16 degrees. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from Bobby Lefergie from Annapolis Royal, Nova Scotia. And Bobby has sent us a drawing of enjoying jumping in some puddles on a rainy day. Today would have been a great day for that. Thank you, Bobby. Great job. If you'd like to be one of our weather watchers, please send your weather-related drawing to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So to coincide with Mental Health Month, Micmac Mall has come up with a way to encourage shoppers to start a conversation. CTV's Emma Convey is happy to chat about their new spaces.
If you choose these seats at Micmac Mall, it's an indication you're open to meeting someone new.
Areas that are designated in the mall that will encourage people to have conversations, maybe with people they haven't met before, with strangers, that just show that they're open to have a conversation.
The initiative originated in Cardiff, Wales in 2019. The Dartmouth Community Health Board joined 4 years ago with 20 happy to chat benches. They're glad to see it expand to an indoor space.
A lot of our health doesn't actually begin in the hospitals, it begins in our communities. So there's lots of research on social connection, and it has not only a huge impact on our emotional well-being, but on our mental health and our physical health as well.
Micmac Mall says they're happy to be a new destination to open these lines of communication between strangers.
We really hope that this opens up lines of communication for people that maybe have a hard time starting conversations. Maybe they feel a little lonely, maybe they feel isolated. This is a great natural spot for them to come to and look at other people that are maybe in the same situation.
Erin Christie with the Canadian Mental Health Association says the announcement coincides with Mental Health Week and this year's theme, Connection.
The World Health Organization says they put out a report that says 1 in 6 people are experiencing loneliness around the world. That's a lot. They say in Nova Scotia we're at about 13% of people have reported feeling lonely.
People are already giving it a try.
Teenagers are lonely. Many of them maybe don't have good homes, and sometimes somebody like us, a grandparent, can say something that's meaningful and encourage them.
Cal and June are visiting from Ontario. They were surprised to see these signs, but say if they lived here, it's something they would take part in.
To be able to sit and talk, and you never know what comes from a conversation. And you can identify various needs and hopefully be a friend somehow.
The mall has 4 designated seating spaces right now, but we'll add more if they're popular. Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Thank you very much, Emma. And by the way, if there aren't any seats available, there are also happy to chat stickers that people can get from Guest Service Center as well. And this is exactly what they look like. Just stick them on your shirt and hopefully somebody will say hello. All right, time for a break here on CTV News at 5. Stay with us though. This story is coming up next.
Hey! There's not going to be any fight without Scott Riles and the incredibly polite Canadian news team.
I'm Ryan McDonald. From poutine to politeness, Canadian cliches are commonplace in popular culture. But have they gotten to the point where they've become a bit cringe? We look at that and have quite a bit of fun, too, in a story that's coming up.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Join us tomorrow for another Foodie Friday nostalgic edition. Think school lunches that mom never packed.
And we'll give away bike number 8 of 31 from Canadian Tire.
Tomorrow on CTV News at 5, Charm Your Mom. We're giving away a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers just in time for Mother's Day. Find out if you are the lucky winner tomorrow at 5 right here on CTV News at 5. On to our final story here. From politeness to poutine, funny accents to the idea we all live in igloos, a new survey finds that Canadians are getting a little tired of the way we're stereotyped in pop culture. And of course, it's just like us to have a little fun with it all too. CTV's Ryan McDonald did exactly that in this story.
Hey! There's not going to be any fight without Scott Riles and the incredibly polite Canadian news team.
Canadian cliches are commonplace in pop culture, and as the stereotype would have it, we're typically pretty good-natured about them.
I mean, aside from oot and a boot, it's saying sorry all the time. And I'm really sorry, but I don't mind apologizing.
But according to a new survey by the Writers Guild of Canada, Canadians are finding it a bit cringe to be reduced to, as the Guild puts it, parkas, politeness, and punchlines.
They don't love the fake Canadian version that we often see written out of LA with, you know, people putting maple syrup in their coffee.
Well, the snow's coming down pretty hard, but these intrepid fishermen are still happy to be out competing in Lake Athabasca's Bass Fishing Jamboree, an August 1st tradition.
From the idea that it's always winter here to suggestions that we are backwoods and boring.
Hey, what's up, ladies? Oh, you're from around these parts, eh?
Yeah, I'm from Saskatchewan. That's up in Canada, eh? You American ladies, you've been out to Saskatchewan, eh?
The survey found Canadians often feel a bit typecast, but sometimes we play up the cliches ourselves.
I said, hold on now, ma'am. I said, with all due respect, you have 2 members of parliament in the nation's capital trying to avert the death of our national animal or national symbol.
There was the time back in 2009 when 2 Cape Breton politicians called 911 to try and save a beaver stuck on a busy Ottawa street.
I stopped 6 lanes of traffic, and in about a half hour, we had them returned to the Ottawa River.
They are Quebec's twin passions, hockey and poutine.
Then there was the time Gatineau City Council tried to ban this staple food from its rinks.
That's their motto. Yes. When you score a goal, you have a poutine. You can't do that.
You can't be serious.
Oh, I am as serious as a poutine shortage in Chicoutimi during a curling bonspiel.
What people here are actually serious about, according to the survey, is seeing real Canadian content.
When we find our own shows, our Letterkennies and stuff, they travel universally around the world. They're popular because they're genuine.
We're gonna gouge your eyes out and kick your head in! Sorry!
Of course, exaggerations aside, it's only Canadian to laugh at ourselves just a bit too. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Sorry! I think we hit every stereotype in that one, and how much fun. Well done, Ryan. Very well done indeed.
Yes. You know what? I can't be too tired of it, I guess, because I laughed at a number of those.
I laugh out loud every time, absolutely. And it's done, I think, in an endearing way.
Particularly the snowstorm on August 1st.
Yeah.
It was quite good.
All right, no snow in our forecast now, but perhaps a little more rain.
A little bit in the weekend forecast, but we also have some pretty fair weather conditions between now and then as well, including a mix of sun and cloud generally for both Friday as well as for Saturday. So we'll be getting into those details again coming up in CTV News at 6, when I'll be back with the other part of our incredibly polite Canadian news team.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kaylin. We'll see you at 6. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone. The national news is now.